Hello, I have a videographer today. I'm so grateful and happy to have you here, Megan. And I have a video plan that I'm going to attempt because I have two hands for a change. And my plan is to, hi Tundra, to take Tundra outside of her stall and just do a grooming and saddling ritual, which I have been doing for the last couple months in the stall outside because it's finally spring and it's beautiful, and I want to try to increase her tolerance for distraction while staying still with me. So that's my plan, and I've been explaining to Megan that I want to show you not that plan, because I don't know how it will go. I want to show you a balanced response to this situation. And so my plan is only my plan. That's my mind's contribution. I have it kind of imagined in my head as a sequence. But what I want to do is stay in balance, which means I want to pay attention to my heart. I want to pay attention to when I feel nervous about my safety and slow down and address that. I want to pay attention to Tundra's heart when she feels nervous about her safety and slow things down. I also want to pay attention to my body and her body and stay embodied. And so I'm really wanting to ground into my little circle of the world. This is what I can control. And I am really trying to imagine a boundary here. And you could see that Tundra was very much invading my boundary while I was talking to you. And so I want to be aware of that in my body and respond firmly, because that's not okay. And she can respect my space. So that's very much a body thing. And so all of that is a lot. I have just a small plan and it seems very achievable, but I want my mind now to sit down in the back and shut up because now I need to really be very mindful of my body and also my heart, who is responsible to keep us all safe. Are we worried about anything? I'm going to take that seriously. I'm not going to feel the fear and do it anyway. I'm going to feel the fear and do something about the fear. So you need to back up, back up, back up, back up. Yes, back up. And see, this is very much an emotional sort of escalation here. I'm reading Tundra's heart as being a little bit like nervous because Megan's there. I'm not doing what I normally do. Her herd mates are outside. She's impatient, so I can feel some feelings in the room. So that's one thing. And so we're going to acknowledge that. And I'm going to go slower and be a lot more clear in my body about what I am asking of her. So first of all, I'm going to take out my materials. So you can pause the video now. Go. I'm going to be very much in my body. Or try. And we're heading out, and then you can follow us.
So here we are outside, and the first thing I'm going to do is gather both of our teams. And this means that I want to be aware of where my body is and where my heart is, and also how that relates to the plan I had. And I'm moving Tundra around because I want to allow her to communicate with me and give me lots of messages with her body as to how her heart and mind are doing. And my intention here is to give her a lot of little very clear cues so that she feels very confident that she is in communication with me and understanding what it is I'm trying to say to her. And I'm reading her expressions, her way of moving, her try, and I'm seeing a horse who's not scared, even though the forklift just drove by. And she's wide awake. She's very much with me. She's alert. She's interested. So my heart is quite happy at this point, and I think I'm not seeing any fear. And so now I'm going to introduce her to the lesson plan, and I'm always trying to really go slow. So I think what I'm feeling here is a sense of connection and calmness, which is really what I want. All the distractions around are not bothering her, and now it's my job to keep all of us very much together. And so I'm going to do this very carefully by slowing myself down and not getting really stuck on my plan. I really want to keep in communication with my horse and with my own body. So my plan here is to do exactly the same thing as I generally do in the stall. And the only difference in challenge is, of course, that we're in the wide world and we have a videographer that Tundra's really never met before. And also I'm asking her to just stand still without being tied. And that's not a new thing, but it is new in the middle of this field this year. So we're just going to see how she does with figuring that out. And a big part of this is asking her to read the difference in my use of my body to ask her to move away or move towards me or to stand still. And that's really tricky, and I want to be really clear about this. I want to give her lots of chances to figure it out, and I want to presume her willingness to try. And I'm seeing so many tries. Like, she's very invested in pleasing me, in cooperating, and in trying to get treats, because she knows there's a way to do it. She knows there's right answers. And so I'm seeing this horse be like all kinds of a great partner, which is wonderful. But there's lots she doesn't know. And so this is just where I plan to do a lot of work in this next month. So I'm doing a lot of touching, and a lot of what I want her is to do nothing. I just want her to stand there and relax and do absolutely nothing and be aware of my pressure, but not respond to it. And it's funny because there's a lot of, deep pressure and inconsistent pressure with grooming. I'm all touching her all over her body, and I want her to just hold her feet still and not ignore me, but not respond with an action. So I'm really happy with how this is going so far, and I'm going to use a lot of rhythm and back and forth to give her lots of chances to understand the difference between move and stand still. And so we'll do a lot of little movement breaks, which give her the ability to make a contrast. And here is her asking questions like, can I take a step forward? Can I put my nose on things? What's okay? And so I want to be really patient, and I want to show her with my body what it is I want. I want to answer her questions physically without getting escalated emotionally at all, because they're just questions. And so I'm trying to keep that physical back and forth really separate from any kind of emotional escalation, because you can see she's emotionally really in a quite happy space. But she's doing things I don't want her to do, and that can escalate me emotionally if I let it. And so I'm really trying to be very careful to tell my heart, this is not a big deal. This is just us communicating. And remember, remember how young she is and remember how little we've been able to do this out in the yard. So there's going to be a lot of back and forth right now where she moves and I just try to keep my emotional tone exactly the same and put her right back to where she was before. So the question is, can I move? And I'm like, no, I'd really like you to stay right here. But, honestly, I'm very, very happy with what she is doing with me here. You can see her ears swiveling around, but she's watching me. Her head isn't very high. Her feet are nicely squared. And this is where she kind of follows me, which, fair enough. I don't want her to follow me in that moment, but how would she know that? So it's one of those things we're going to get really good at this. And picking up hooves is one of her favorite things, actually, because I give her treats after every hoof right now. I'm going to fade that out, obviously, but she's really, so gentle in picking up her hooves, and she's so happy about doing it, just right for me. And I really enjoy that part. So now, seeing as it's going so well, we're going to actually try to put the saddle on. And so I'm going to do it exactly the same way as I did in the barn. And we're just going to, just take a look and see how she does. And that's just exactly what I want. And so much about this is we want to practice success. So I'm trying to break everything down so that she's, just making small questioning mistakes, not big ones, because she isn't elevated. So this is where there's a little bit of a muscle memory for her of getting nervous with the saddle being put on outside. And that's why I really worked hard at putting it on a lot in the stall where she couldn't really move away. And this is a tricky part where I want to get it done up so that she doesn't have a chance to throw it off herself and scare herself, which she was doing kind of regularly in the fall, and I really was trying to get away from that. So we managed to get her to stand still. It's not in the same place, but I had to change my sub goal there, and that worked out really well. So she's calm, she's happy, she's like enjoying all those treats that I'm pairing with this, and I am feeling like we're actually getting quite far on my little plan. And so the next thing I want to do is work on mounting. And one of the things that happened in the last couple days is that and it's kind of led to this video, is I was practicing, jumping up on the stirrup, and she spooked in place a couple of times. And that spook in place told me that there was something about this process that was freaking her out. And when I say spook in place, I just mean she gave a little jump and shiver. She didn't move her feet away from where they were, but she did do a little jump. And she did that twice. And so I stopped my plan at that point and thought, I need to slow down because she is telling me there's a little bit of an emotional catch to this scenario. And I'm not sure what it is. At this point, I'm not sure what it was, whether it was the pressure of my toe or if she was ticklish or if it was me pulling on the saddle on the top. I have no idea. The thing is that she wasn't sure what to do. I appreciate that she didn't like run away. It was kind of a gentle communication of I'm not comfortable here. And so I can choose to override that, which is what I've often done with my horses, is like just go with more repetitions on the same day, and get kind of really task focused. But I chose instead to try to soften my approach and say, oh, your heart is a little bit worried, and you're telling me with your body that this is a lot in a short time. And so here I am trying to break it down. And so I'm doing a lot of movement. I think I'm going to do a circle game now, to really have her have a feeling of success. Yes, this is the circle game, the 3-circle game from Ryan Rose. And the task for her is to bend around me. And I want her nose right in the center. I want her front feet doing a circle around her nose and her back feet doing a circle around her front feet. So 3 concentric circles around me. And she kind of did that there. We've done a lot of this, and so, but not recently. So it's just a really nice way to get her really focused on me and thinking really precisely about her foot movement and responding to my intention, my energy and intention. Ryan does a good job of separating those two. So I can have a lot of energy, but have the intention that I want her to stay still, which is what I'm going to do when I try and get up on the saddle. That's a lot of energy, but it's not, the intention is not for her to move. Here, I'm using not a lot of energy, but my intention is I want her to move, and I want her to disengage her hips away from me. And so she's very much able to parse all that out. And again, I'm feeling really happy that she is understanding me. She's trying, she's curving in, she's like really focused. And I don't feel like she's scared. So I'm just going to keep going. I'm looking for a little more bend in the barrel, a little more softness. And she's licking and chewing, which is a sign that is a sign that I might have given her a treat. I'm not sure. But it is a really nice way that they process, just like humans do. We lick and chew quite a bit too when we're thinking hard about something. So again, there's slack in the rope. She's following me really nicely. I don't think that she's worried about distractions at all. And she's stopping when I'm stopping. She's sticking her head in my space a little bit. I'm trying to be a little bit more clear about my space. I'm just tightening up the saddle one more time because I want to put pressure on it and I don't want it to slide off. And yeah, that's a lot of yeses from her. Let's keep going. We can do this. So these are light touches saying move away. And I want her to move her front end away. And I want her to now plant her feet while I do stuff with the stirrup. Lots of questions, right? And I think she's a little bit wondering, and that's why she's coming into my space a bit. So it's at this point in the video that I start getting really happy and excited and have intrusive thoughts. My mind comes away from the back seat and starts having all sorts of ideas as to what we should do. And I also have a lot of concerns about what you guys are thinking, and how like kind of some comparative thinking about what other people would be doing about now, and maybe what we should be accomplishing, and kind of like really it's hard to stay in the moment because I get happy because of the success. So I'm really bringing myself back to reality, back to Tundra, back to what she's telling me and what I'm feeling, and staying very physical again. So I'm doing the steps that I was hoping to do, which is to really break down this feeling of stepping up into the stirrups. So I'm putting weight on it. I'm really bothering her sides, and obviously this is confusing. Like, do I want her to move or do I want her to stand still? So these are just little questions she's asking, and I want to give her the chance to ask all the questions she wants. So here I am just lifting my leg because even that motion is making her wonder if I'm trying to hurt her. And I'm like, nope, nope, I just want you to stand still and ignore it. I know, it's very odd. It's funny because watching this, I'm lifting the wrong leg. Which doesn't really matter. So I'm always going to keep going until she plants her feet. And once she plants her feet, then we'll stop, because that's the response I want. So I don't want to quit what I'm doing while she's moving away. So it's kind of a lot of coordination on my part, and I do need to stay really in my body so that I don't fall over, because these are awkward movements. So I'm going to just, again, pair a lot of walking around, and I want you to move, and now I want you to stand still. Yeah, and even though my body is doing these funny things, I'm not asking you to engage your hindquarters. I'm not asking you to move to the front. Like, she's trying all sorts of answers as if I'm asking her to do those things. And so, really, really, awesome willingness on her part to try to figure it out. And it's way nicer for me to stay present with this conversation, to notice her emotions, which are all positive, to actually respond to her physical. Look at that, she's finally getting it, and that's after only a few minutes. So to really pay attention to these small successes, which are a big deal. So I'm just going to do a few more. And again, I am so happy that I really am trying to make sure that I stay balanced and don't get so attached to, building on this success and making it go from a Just Right challenge right up into a marathon of success. And then all of a sudden she'll just, fail. So it is kind of one of the things about horsemanship that you want to leave on a high note. It's the same with people. It's the same with dogs. It's the same with anyone. You don't want to make a lesson demoralizing. And you can see she is way calmer, very attentive, feeling a little bit more confident with all of this. Still able to understand that some of my soft pressure cues mean move away, but now this hard pressure cue means stand still. So funny. And it's a lot of energy I'm using to mean very different things. So good on her. Yeah, I'm so looking forward to riding my horse. So I'm actually sticking my foot in, and now again I need to keep going with the pressure till she gets it. She got it. She stood still there. She's really, really trying. I'm going to try, I think, one more time. And see, that went so well that I'm very tempted to just get up on her. And this is where I had to really stop myself and go, no, it's not just about my mind and her ideas as to how great that would be, or my heart. It's also, she just succeeded there. This is exactly when would be a good time to stop. And so I I really had to hold myself back there. You can see we're both kind of a little bit blissful. So yeah, I'm going to do it one more time. So alternating movement with stand still. I'm putting a lot of pressure on. I'm really bothering her. She figured it out. We're all really happy. This is just such a good way to end this lesson. And I am happy I was able to keep my team together. So my mind was saying that I really want to keep going, and I told my mind to shut up and just really focus on the actual task and goal that I had wanted, which was completely successful. And that was the video for today, and I was really, really glad to share it with you all.